Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Cole and Noah Hate Greg Marcus, episode 18.
18. Greg Marcus.
Sorry, I still not over it. Greg, I'm sure you're a great human being, but not a fan.
Still mad about it.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I haven't seen a movie, actually, in a few weeks.
Yeah, me neither.
So you haven't seen the new, you haven't seen Black Panther yet, have you?
No, but I read spoilers. I'll be honest, I don't really care.
Tell me anything.
Guess what? You'll never believe what happens. Spider-Man dies.
No.
And you don't even see it. You just hear
It
about
better be Craven who kills him, or else I am not interested.
It's not. It's Raven from That's So Raven.
I believe it.
The ultimate crossover.
That's what we need. We need a That's So
ultimate
Raven crossover.
With Spider-Man.
With Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
It's not all about the money, Spider-Man.
It's about the magic. I killed Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah, man. I honestly I didn't realize how badly I wanted a Chris Pine Spider-Man
He'd be great.
until that movie,
Mm-hmm.
Into the Spider-Verse. Do we know when, what is it, Across the
I think
Spider-Verse?
it's Here's the thing that confuses me. I think it's 2024.
'Kay.
But the issue is they're releasing toys and stuff for it now.
Yeah.
So I already know that Spider-Punk's in the movie, and I
Right.
know Cyborg Spider-Woman is in it.
What?
As well. I didn't know that was a thing either, but they just released a toy that I found.
Okay.
It is a gargantuan Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
Spider-Woman.
Have you heard? I've probably told you about this, probably on podcast. I'm sorry, everybody, for repeating myself. But
Have you heard about Avatar The Last
Spiders Man. Do you know of Spiders Man?
No.
So in all of the the spider universes, they run into Spiders Man in the comics, and he is a bunch of spiders, actual spiders, that I think they ate Peter Parker, and somehow collectively gained his consciousness, and so they are just a Spider-Man suit that is full of spiders and has the ability to just move around like a human.
I hate that so
being
much.
so much. Yeah, kind of like the fish in Finding Nemo when they just sort of make all the shapes collectively. They know what they're doing. They are one. Yeah, Spiders Man. And so he's got holes in his suit where spiders are falling out of it. It's disgusting.
That is awful.
Yeah.
That's no thank you.
Yep.
That would make me hate Spider-Man. He would drop pretty low on my list of superheroes.
If that was his normal origin story, that would be. I'd hate
my favorite origin
everything
story
about
is Spider-Ham, where he was a spider that got bitten by a radioactive pig. That's hilarious. And now, although his name is Peter Porker, so was
Peter
that his
Porker.
name when he was a spider? Was his name Peter Porker as a spider?
Wait, he started as a spider?
He was a spider that got bitten by a radioactive pig.
No.
Yeah.
You sure he wasn't a pig that got bit by a
No,
radioactive
he was
pig?
a spider. That's why it's so funny. He was a spider that got bit by a pig.
So he became Pigman, really, with spider power. No, I don't.
Oh, that was not what I wanted. I tried to type in spider ham, and I actually typed in spider hand, and then the first result on Google is spider handcuffs. There's a spider ham book at Target. We need to buy that for our kids, Cole.
Yep, definitely our children, and not for. Oh, okay. Speaking of kids, I have Hot Wheel updates for you regarding my children. Two things. One, you bought Tessa the Barbie dream car.
Yes.
By the way, thank you so much for that.
Yes, absolutely.
And the Ahsoka Tano toy.
Yes.
I love the Ahsoka Tano one super duper so much. I'm not a collector of things though, so I was staring at it and I was like, oh, this would totally be one of those things you don't open. And my daughter looked at it and she's like, can I play with that? And I went, yep.
Yep.
But she got out the Barbie car and she was like, whoa. And she got down on the floor and first try zooms it across the kitchen floor straight underneath the oven into the abyss of lint and filth that families who have lived in this house never bothered to clean.
And so you didn't get it out, correct?
I did get it out.
I know.
Because
What a good dad.
I love my daughter so much. So yeah, she's putting it to good use.
Peter Porker was born a spider, simply named Peter. He resided in the basement lab of May Porker, a slightly goofy animal scientist who had created the world's first atomic-powered hairdryer, hoping that the introduction of nuclear fusion into America's beauty salons would revolutionize the hair care industry. After dousing her head with water and activating the dryer, May Porker accidentally irradiated herself and in a fit of delusion bit Peter, who then found himself transformed into an anthropomorphic swine, much like May Porker herself.
What?
Running from the Porker homestead, disoriented, Peter soon came to realize that he still retained a spider's abilities. This is astounding. Am I a spider with the limitations of a pig, or a pig with the proportionate strength and agility of a spider? I've become something greater than either spider or pig. I've become Spider Ham. There you go.
I want that comic. I want it so bad.
1985.
Really?
Sorry, back to Tessa and the tale of the
That's funny.
The oven.
And I had no idea about. I didn't know that much about Spider Ham. But yeah, so that's the whole oven story. But then so we were playing, I think it was last night, and we start playing a game, and I literally was like, Noah needs to be here to witness this. We were doing, she likes, I've said this before, she likes stories at night before bed. She asks me to make up and tell her stories, and they need to be 3 long, bad stories that end good. And so I'm trying to tell her stories, but I'm also exhausted, so I'm like in and out of consciousness, falling asleep, right?
Have you heard about Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Did you ever see the one with Aang with the Fire Nation? And
she's like, yeah, not this again.
Not
please.
this one again. I've accidentally told her the story of Mario and Bowser twice now. Whoops.
Different names. Their names have been changed to
Pretty
protect their identities.
Yeah.
So get this. There's a plumber. And he's fighting a giant irradiated turtle dinosaur thing.
Big turtle dinosaur dragon band thing.
Was this story featuring Batman?
This story did not originally start featuring Batman. Here's short how it went. There was a person who had a garden. There was a boy who had a garden, and then this thing came and ate all his vegetables, and he was mad, but he found paw prints in the garden. And as I'm telling the story, she's playing with the Batmobile that I got her, and she goes, she looks at me, she goes, Dad. And then the boy hears vroom, and the car says, hey, do you want to catch that monster that ate all your vegetables? Get in the car. And I was like, okay. So now we're coached storytelling. Vroom, right? Car comes up, and the boy goes, oh my gosh, a big scary car. I better run away. And she goes, hey kid, do you want to catch the monster? Blah, 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 blah. Gets in the Batmobile with a driver, an unnamed driver. We don't know who it is. She doesn't even know who Batman is. Gets in the car. They follow the tracks down the road where they discover that it was the Grinch who ate all this is all Tessa, by the way. Tessa has taken over the storytelling.
Wow.
The Grinch stole the vegetables, ate them, and there's a bunch of Santa Claus outfits lying on the ground. He's stealing Santa outfits to try and ruin Christmas yet again. So
a lot of Santa outfits.
A lot of them, yes. Once again, this is all Tessa. I'm not driving the story anymore. This is 100% a 4-year-old.
Executive produced by Tessa.
Yes. She says, Dad, get off the couch. And I roll off the couch because I'm still like, what? Awake, huh? And we crawl over to where her bag is leaning up against the side of the couch, and it makes a tiny little cave.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, a cave. It's the Grinch's cave. And I was like, oh no, what are we going to do? And I kid you not, she puts the Batmobile there, and she looks at the back of it. She goes, Dad, what are these? And I was like, those are the jets where fire comes out. And she's like a rocket ship? And I was like, yeah, kind of, but it makes the car go fast. She goes, okay. And she starts reversing the Batmobile into the cave and goes, whoosh, and lights the Grinch on fire in the cave. And drives the car, and she goes, I lit the Grinch on fire. So I'm acting out the Grinch. Oh! And the Grinch runs out of the cave, and he starts rolling around on the ground, right? And then she gets distracted doing something else with the Batmobile that's not related to trying to stop the Grinch from stealing Christmas. And then I say, he rolled all the fire out. And then he gets up. And then what happens? And Tessa goes, I light him on fire again.
Sounds really like Batman, honestly.
Really like Batman. I was like, this is amazing.
A previous story from the movie Batman Returns. Batman does that to a devil character.
That's all I could see.
Lighting a toy store
in my
on
mind.
Fire, so.
I was like, this
sounds like Tessa might listen to the podcast.
She might. She's got the creative genius of whoever did that movie. Who was that?
Tim Burton.
What? I was going to say Tim Burton. Oh.
Tessa Burton.
Tessa Burton.
She just starts wearing black and has scissor hands. Like, what is going on? You're 4.
Yeah, so that was our story time. I was like remarkably impressed with
incredible.
her. I was like, wow, that is uncanny.
What a turn of events.
What
I did
a
not
turn of events.
envision Right when you said she backed the Batmobile up into the cave and asked, I figured she was just going to, like, rev the engine and shoot fire into the cave to scare the Grinch out. No. She reversed to where he was potentially sleeping and or eating glass because he's bored. And then putting fire all over his body. Not once, but twice.
Yeah, I was scared at
he
that
looked
point.
like a naked mole rat afterwards.
Really? That's
he
how the story
like
went, too.
Rufus from Kim Possible.
Exactly. So, yeah. What a story,
Incredible.
indeed.
Cole, can you hand me a Kleenex behind you?
I can.
My nose is leaking.
Reach.
Thank you. I recently showed Kian bits of Batman.
Yes.
Not the whole movie because that is not appropriate for
kind
a
of
5-year-old.
irresponsible, maybe.
But I showed him the opening scene where Batman does the whole thing. I need to, one of the weeks for this podcast, I'm just going to intro it by doing Batman's monologue from the start of Batman. I'm just going to do the whole thing.
We should. You should.
And then, yeah, anyways, that's what we're going to do. Somewhere down the line, you'll just hear me start going, October 31st. And then go through the entire monologue. What you won't see is that my eyes will also be painted.
Yes.
So anyways, I showed him that whole scene. He's talking, asking questions the whole time. Then Batman proceeds to beat up the bad guys. Then I skipped ahead, showed him the Batmobile scene. He thought that was super cool. Then I showed him the scene where Batman goes into the Iceberg Lounge and beats up people, and showed him potentially one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie where a police officer yells at Batman, "Hey, freeze!" And then Batman throws a baseball bat at the dude's face, breaking his nose. It was one of the funniest scenes. Seeing it in the theaters the first time, I saw him whip a baseball bat at somebody, and I was like, "That's hilarious." Only Batman can throw a baseball bat at somebody and
at
hit
the
them
police.
It's so good.
Smack him
But
in the nose.
But he's a dirty cop.
He was a dirty cop.
Also played through Gotham Knights. Beat that. Pretty fun.
Who does Batman's voice in Gotham Knights?
Not Kevin Conroy.
Really? Is it not him?
No.
Oh.
It's made by WB Montreal, not Rocksteady. So different guy. I don't know who it is. But
Oh.
Kevin Conroy did pass away.
He did. Kevin Conroy died.
R.I.P. Kevin Conroy. If you don't know who that is, he's the voice of Batman in so many Batman animated projects, mainly Batman the Animated Series. He got to play real-life Bruce Wayne twice in terrible CW shows. He also got to voice Batman for all of the Arkham games and the Injustice games, among a myriad of other things.
Yeah.
And he passed away. People were like trying to console me as if I knew the man, like a family member died. Which, guys, I love Batman, but like I didn't cry over the fact that he died.
Right.
Like, I'm highly empathetic. It is incredibly sad that another human being passed away, and he was only 66.
Yeah, that's not very old.
Which is really doesn't feel that old. And so yeah, I was immensely sad. I posted about it on my Instagram, but like, I feel empathy for his family, so I feel sad that a human being passed away. But I didn't know the guy. Like, he wasn't close family. A lot of people think that because he's Batman, that he's like basically my family. But
yeah.
It was incredibly sad. And he was the voice of Batman for millions and millions of people.
I never
those
even
mediums.
played like any of the Arkham games. I'm not like a deeply. I was never super involved in Batman stuff, and even I know like his voice as Batman because he's like all of them.
Yep.
He's all the animated.
He
Batmans.
is the one who, when you think of Batman talking,
the one.
You either hear Christian Bale's awful interpretation of a Batman voice, or you hear Kevin Conroy.
Right.
Like, that's just what you hear.
Yep.
Also, if you didn't know this, Batman the Animated Series also featured one certain Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, as the voice of the Joker.
It did.
Which is crazy. I didn't find that out until I was in like high school, and I was like, Luke
That's
Skywalker's the Joker? Like, the epitome of good guy
and
is the epitome of also bad guy.
right. That guy he's all the way up or all the way down. There's no in between.
No, he's either fully good or fully bad.
That's him, 100%.
Yeah.
He did great too. His Joker is insane.
You know, initially it was going to be Tim Curry, who is Pennywise, if you don't know. He's also the bad hotel clerk from Home Alone 2.
Yep.
Tim Curry. He was originally going to be the Joker, and there's some scenes out there with his voice over it. Doesn't even compare.
Oh, yeah, dude. Mark Hamill's Joker is Joker. Like,
it's so good.
It's amazing.
Again,
So.
when you hear the Joker talking, you hear Mark
Yep.
Hamill's voice or Heath Ledger.
Who are, like, significant actors, actresses, or otherwise similar that, like, when they died, that's, like, that was a significant moment in, I don't know, significant moment in history sounds maybe a little over the top, but you're like, oh, I remember when this person died, and it was kind of a big deal.
Count Dooku, a lot of people, because he played not only Count Dooku, but he played the guy in Lord of the Rings.
Yep. Sure did.
Sorry about that. I don't know his name. The guy who played Snape, I think his name's Alan something.
Yes.
The guy who played Snape when he passed away, that was
Yep.
pretty huge. Heath Ledger, obviously.
Yep. Yep.
I'm trying to think. There's obviously a lot. Robin Williams was a huge one.
Yep.
Why can't I think? Did the guy who played Magneto pass away?
No,
I don't think
because he also plays Gandalf.
Did the guy who voiced Darth Vader pass away? I don't
Not-
think he did, but
No,
he just retired.
not
from
yet.
doing
James
the
Earl
voice.
Jones is not yet dead, believe it or not. He's an old man.
Cole, did I send you the Star Wars tattoo that I sent you?
Did say that
So
again?
sorry. So sorry. Let me try that again. There was a Star Wars tattoo that you would love, and I think I sent it to you on Instagram, but I can't. Okay, I did, but you didn't see it.
Oh,
Look at
yeah,
this.
I'm not like on
It's
Instagram.
so
right
cool.
now. Oh no, I did see that. I am not your failure.
So cool. That guy's tattoos
That
are
is
so
sick.
good. Like, I've never wanted to travel for a tattoo more than for this guy's, because he just does such good, like, black and gray work.
Oh, that
Like,
is
there's one of Winter
awesome.
Soldier. He
The
just does
Winter Soldier.
so much black
Who
and
is
gray
this
work.
guy so people can check him out?
His name is Sam Ray.
Samwise
No,
Gamgee?
no, no, no. It's not a him. It's a girl. I just saw that. Her name is Sam Ray, and she does just incredible, like, black and gray tattoo work. It's unreal.
That's awesome.
Like, just
Whoa.
ridiculous. And also, that was a stomach tattoo I just showed Cole, and oh my Lanta, that would hurt so bad.
I can only imagine.
What my
This body is still tattooless.
this mortal coil.
Mortal coil.
That's one of my favorite ways to call it. I forget who said that, but somebody called their body a mortal coil. It was like when I am finally released from this mortal coil. It made me laugh so hard.
Oh,
It's
man.
so funny.
I've been listening to this book called Bird by Bird, which is, I'm going to describe it and you're going to go.
I thought the book was called Bird and the author's name was Bird. I was like, you cannot be serious right now.
Yeah, this bird book, by Bird.
You know, everyone's favorite author, Bird.
Bird?
Bird.
Yeah. No,
Hey, Bird.
it's a writing book, which I'm listening to mostly just because I'm curious. I saw a video and they recommended it, and now I'm listening
Was it
to
a
it.
video essay?
It was a video essay.
Nice.
And this is, yeah, anyways, so I'm listening to this book called Bird by Bird, and it's really funny, and it's actually kind of refreshing listening. She's like an author and a really good writer, and her dad was a writer, and so she like writes really well, and she's humorous, and it's kind of fun to hear just really good like writing and creative ways of saying things, but it's also really, really funny. So your mortal coil reminded me of the many things that she has said that I'm like, there's no way I would have ever said it that way, and that's why you wrote a book and I didn't. So
Cole, what I was just going to show you reminded me of something. So,
yes.
this is a little poster that I found on Instagram right before Batman came out. And it's
Yes.
Batman in the style of the Nirvana logo
Right?
because of the song Something in the Way. And I was like, I need this on a T-shirt immediately, which reminded me,
Yes.
Sierra Fortune and I, if you have been followed by a brand called Words and Season on Instagram, that is Sierra Fortune and I's attempt at getting into a clothing brand.
Let's go.
And there will be more to come from that, but we've started some designs.
Nice.
And Sierra has a screen printing thing, and she screen printed on a shirt, and it looked really sick.
Awesome.
And she screen printed on some tote bags, and so we're moving forward with that. We're going to host like a little small launch event with we're probably going to invite like 30 or so people, and we're probably going to buy basically that amount of T-shirts and print on those and then see where it goes. And if there's genuine interest, then we have a little bit of money to start it with. But yeah, it's called Words in Season, and the whole thought process behind that was her and I've wanted to start a clothing brand for a long time, but I am not super creative, and I love Sierra's artwork, and her and I have very similar eyes for things that we want on shirts or things like that.
Right.
So we basically said, hey, we should start this. Here's an idea I had for a brand name, which was Words in Season, based off the thing we do at Presbytery and things like that, Words in Season. But my idea was I love getting notes from smaller companies when I order something. They'll write you a note. Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. I think I've told you
those
this,
are
but
so great, dude.
I love
those.
So my idea was anytime somebody orders from us down the line, obviously,
Sure.
we want to get their name, and then we'll pray into a word for their name,
Yeah.
and then write that word or type up that word and send it with their order. So
That's
they get
awesome,
like
dude.
a word in season.
Yep.
Which would just be sweet. And so we have a first design, which isn't anywhere yet. I think we're going to tease it out on Instagram soon.
Yeah, dude.
But I will show Cole the design.
I get insider knowledge.
And some other people have seen it, obviously.
This is amazing.
But I'll show you. This is what it looks like on the tote bag that Sierra took with her to Kona.
Oh, that is awesome.
So
I love that, and I'm not going to describe any of it on this podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then I told her we need to put this font on a shirt.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, and this is what it looks like on a shirt. It's pretty small right now, but she has another one that she did bigger.
That is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's
if you guys are thinking, man, how do I get insider knowledge on things? It's actually really simple. You find a friend, you start a business with them, and then one of those friends has to start a separate business so that while you are conducting your business, they can share their other business.
I got a lot of coals in the fire. No pun intended. No, Cole and I, basically, we've said this before, but starting the podcast just came from a place of Cole and I are friends. We don't really get to see each other a ton outside of work, but when we see each other at work, it's usually like we should have carved out time to talk to each other.
Yep.
Because it starts as like, hey, how you doing? And then it goes into, my daughter killed the Grinch. And I'm like, hold on, you got to tell me more. And then Cole's like, I have a meeting. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Grinch, you're fired.
What a grim ending that would be.
Yeah.
And then the clothing brand one was just something separate that I wanted to start, and I've loved Sierra's like artwork and stuff I mean, she's incredible. So shout out Sierra Fortune. Also shout out Malia Fortune because she brought me the shirt that Sierra made last week.
That is awesome. I love the Fortunes. They're amazing people.
They are so
if you don't know them,
so
that's
good.
your loss.
That's your loss.
Seriously.
But yeah, that's where we're going. So if you get followed by a brand called Words in Season or a page on Words in Season, follow it back. And stay tuned.
On the subject of I have two business things I want to ask you about.
Cole's bookkeeping coming back, baby.
Nope, not even. But you know what's coming to Council Bluffs?
Cole's bookkeeping.
Flavortown. Yeah,
hold on.
That's right.
Is that a restaurant?
Do you know Guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. He is. I saw a billboard like a month ago. I can't believe I haven't brought it up yet. And it was literally whatever his restaurants are. They're putting one in Council Bluffs, and the billboard literally.
I'm not surprised.
It's like off 72nd and L Street or something. The billboard was like Flavortown is coming to Council Bluffs or something like that.
Where?
I don't know, but
I wonder if it'll be by the new Menards.
I don't know where that is.
There's also a Dave's Hot Chicken that's opening up here in Omaha.
Dave's Hot Chicken.
My friend Jaime told me about it. I haven't seen where it's going to be, but it is a chicken place that I have wanted to try for so long.
Oh,
but the closest one is like I think maybe Texas or Colorado. And supposedly he saw like a spot that they're opening, and I don't know when.
Really?
There's also a new chicken place that just opened, 168th and Maple, Church's Chicken.
I've heard so many. I don't know if I've had Church's Chicken, but I've heard it's fantastic.
I've heard good things about it.
Church's Chicken.
Here's the thing. I love chicken.
Yeah.
The problem is now I am going to want chicken for lunch. That or Chipotle.
Yeah. Did you ever have Time Out Chicken?
No, but I've heard it's great.
We would go to Time Out Chicken a lot in high school when we were in that part of town, usually for like all-city band stuff. We'd be down at the TAC building in Omaha, Nebraska, and then we'd all be like, let's go to Time Out Chicken, woohoo. It was good.
Let's go to Time Out Chicken, woohoo. Just like that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, honestly, you know what it was? It was a whole bunch of mostly white kids who like are in Westish Omaha and just felt like we were on some kind of vacation going farther east than we normally go and getting Time Out Chicken, which we would not normally ever get the chance to do. So it was a good time. And they had really good chicken.
Yeah, see, I want to... Served with a regular drink, your choice of any regular side, and a scratch-made honey butter biscuit.
Honey butter biscuit?
Mama.
It's a lot better than a butter burger.
Yeah, but
In
not
name.
better than a Curter burger.
No, it's not. It's not. Who was I talking to? Who was it? It was
If they disrespected the Kurderberger, Cole, we're going to have problems. We're going to stop the podcast right now, and we'll come back
no.
later.
They didn't disrespect it. I think they just forgot it entirely. Maybe it was
Well, Cole, as far as I'm concerned, that's disrespect. So
somebody said something. I mentioned cheese. I love cheese, and then they said something about cheese on a
the
burger.
character from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, right?
Yes.
That's the cheese you're talking
Cheese
about.
again.
Cheese.
Do it again. 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 Do it again.
I bet that just unlocked a core memory in some people's brains
Dude, seriously.
by just saying the name cheese.
Blue. Oh my gosh! Wow, that show is something else.
I mean, honestly, it's a great TV show. There were such good TV shows. I'm sorry for everybody who didn't get to watch Cartoon Network shows.
Oh man, they were good.
Because I mean, Ed, Edd and Eddy is still such a core part of my childhood.
Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, though haunting. Very
Terrifying.
good. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Codename Kids Next Door.
That show was next level. Okay, Codename Kid Next Door was something else.
Yeah, that show.
That's the only show that ever made me feel like, as I grow up, I will turn into the bad guy.
And how right.
How right it was.
Because I am. Yeah, I mean, it really does, like...
It
like,
hits you one
no.
day. You're just like, I'll turn into a teenager and I won't belong to I couldn't be a kid's next
Dude,
door.
I had a sad moment. I don't know if Tessa's had this conversation with you yet, but Kian told us the other night as he was getting out of the bathtub or getting into the bathtub or something.
Yeah.
He goes, Dad, I want to get older. I want to grow up. And I said, what? Excuse me? I was like, no.
Stop it right there.
No. I was like, who what? And he's like, yeah, I want to get older. I want to grow up. And I said, no. I was like, go talk to your mom. Tell her that. And I was like, and he walked outside. He's like, Mom, I want to grow up. Like, I want to get older like you guys. I want to grow up. And I was like, no, you don't. You're never allowed to grow
You're
up.
not allowed
You have
to get
to stay
older,
5
kid.
years old forever. You'll
Yeah.
hate growing up.
Yeah.
Because once you grow up, you have to get a job. And then there's taxes. And then there's things that you didn't know you could care about that you will care about. So no, you are not allowed to grow up.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
he had that conversation. And I was like, no. Who's telling you?
Be
this?
a kid
Who's
forever.
telling you to grow up?
We haven't had the grow up, like, I want to be older yet thing, but I was driving her to school the other day, and she goes, hey, Dad, do people, like, always live? And I
My
said,
daughter has a dark mind.
well, she says die, like, a lot in games.
Yeah.
Right,
Same
but she
with
doesn't
Kian.
understand what it
Yeah.
is, right? And so she asked, do people, like, live? Basically asking, do people live forever? And I
Yeah.
asked, I was like, do you mean, like, do they live forever and ever and ever? And she's like, yeah. I was like, no, everybody dies eventually.
If she says mortal coil, you need to
This
you need to have a
mortal
conversation.
coil.
Dad, do we stay in this mortal coil forever? Will I be in this husk for the rest of my life?
She and then I said, no, people eventually die, and usually, and I'm trying to, like, answer her question but explain more so that she's not now afraid of, like, oh no, death could get me, you know. I said everybody dies eventually. Usually it's because people just get older and older and older, and then their bodies, like, can't live anymore.
Yep.
And then she goes, oh, okay, but, like, not kids. And I said, yeah, kids are not supposed to die. And I tried very hard to say not supposed to, because I just want to be in touch with reality a little bit. And then I said, kids are not supposed to die. And she says, yeah, because kids are too lovely.
And then you didn't say a word.
Single tear.
I was like, yep, they are.
We're at school, honey, and I got to drop you off.
Don't do this to me right now.
This morning she wanted to play in the big Christmas tree box because our Christmas tree is up. Surprise.
Same.
And she wanted to play in the box, and I said, okay, we got to get dressed for school first. And then she goes in her room. She's in there way longer than I expected. And I go to knock on the door, and she opens the door, and she looks at me. She goes, Dad, can I paint my nails instead this morning? And I was like, yeah, if you want to, but we won't be able to play in the tree box. We won't have time. Is that okay? She says, yeah, I want to look real pretty for my friend Harper. And on the one hand, I'm going, I'm so excited because legitimately, as a dad who's also a youth pastor, I'm like, I really hope you feel secure in your sense of gender. Like, I want you to grow up and not feel the pressure of, like, I need to be a certain way as a woman.
Yeah.
But I want her to feel like, man,
Comfortable in her own skin.
comfortable, and to be spared the confusion of, like, do I have to figure out my gender?
Yeah.
But just to be able to find peace in, like, I am a woman, and I'm figuring out what that means for me, but that is who I am,
Yeah.
right? And so every now and again, she'll do things where I'm like, I think she enjoys the like traditional like lenses of viewing like
Yes.
womanhood.
Yep.
She's like, I want to get pretty, and she cares a lot about the clothes that she wears and stuff like that, just kind of on her own.
Yeah.
And it honestly helps me relax a little because I'm like, okay, I don't think that's going to be the big stressor. But also, when she's like, I want to
Who is
look real
Harper?
pretty for Harper. I'm like, whew, okay, gender.
One bullet dodged.
You're like,
Who is Harper?
who is Harper? Yeah, it's funny, though, because they're so innocent and
Yeah.
they're good friends, and it's so sweet.
So lovely.
So lovely. Because children are too lovely.
Oh, man. Kids.
Kids. Oh, the kids. Speaking of kids, let's talk about we had, I want to say.
Sorry, Mr. Voss.
Sorry, Mr.
I don't know
Voss.
if we're caught up or not.
We are. Actually, okay, so here's the deal. We, at the end of our, not last episode 17, but episode 16, we used all of our bleeps, except for, I think, one.
Okay.
And I made a note of that, and I put it at the beginning of our last episode, episode 17, which I released almost at midnight on Thursday.
Yep.
And by like 9 in the morning, we had 25 new bleeps.
Daniel Hansen has now has the record for most donations.
He does.
He has $45
He's
in
our
donations.
number one patron.
He
Didn't even use Patreon.
Nope. So, Dad, I'm so sorry. Also, Zach Peterson he has gifts for us, I guess.
Oh, really?
He said we don't get them till he's allowed to come on the podcast.
That's
But
manipulation.
Yep. Yeah, he's blackmailing us. He said that he wants to erase from this podcast.
Hey guys, we're close. Like Daniel also was the one who did the like 10 retroactive bleeps, which I also have. If you go back and listen to them, they're not in yet. One, because episode 1 has 0 mentions.
Yep.
Episode
Wow.
0, right? Crazy. Episode
Unreal.
2, I sent to Christian to edit, and I sent him both, episode 1 and 2, and he was working through 1, and then he got back to me. He's like, hey, or no, I sent him 1, and he said, hey, there's none in 1. Will you send me 2? And then along the way, the link expired, so I need to send it to him again. That's my fault. Long story short, there will be 10 retroactives, and as we go through, I'm going to keep track of how many we have retroactively.
Nice.
But we very possibly could erase name from the podcast completely. And if you can imagine
That's unreal.
the inside joke of a podcast where somebody is always bleeped and we just don't know who it is
Unless you know.
unless you know.
It is the ultimate if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And when we're there, that's why I refer to him as he who shall not be named sometimes, so we don't use a bleep. And I just think it would be so fun to have to start a podcast, like go back and do an introduction episode that basically says, hey, welcome to the podcast. By the way, you're going to hear bleeps, and they're not like explicit language.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what they are. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you'll have to figure it out.
Oh, jeez.
I want that so bad.
And then one time to have him on the podcast, but his name gets censored, so you never know who he is other than just his voice. He's also in Serbia right now. He's on his way back.
Oh, wow.
Did I say
Good for him.
last week how I went to Bill Murray? Did I mention that?
You did.
Bill Murray
Yeah, talked about going
great
to Bill
show.
Murray.
I watched most of a 1975 concert from Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
They did a live stream for it, and then it was illegally uploaded to YouTube.
Bueno.
So obviously, I watched it.
Have you ever done any like VR stuff?
I have not.
Okay. I need maybe I'll just show you or lend you my Oculus sometime.
I'll show you.
Going to concerts in VR is a thing, but it's like it's a totally different thing. And I just love I don't watch concerts on YouTube. I like that's not immersive enough for me. I'm like, I'm not there. I'd rather just listen to the live music and do something else.
For me, I just knew the 1975. I'm probably never going to see them live. The only time I could feasibly see them live is in Kansas City next month, and their show date is my first Christmas Eve rehearsal.
Ooh.
So I cannot miss that. So
yikes.
no dice on that.
No dice on that one. Yeah, but if you guys have access to like an Oculus or something, try go to a VR performance of something and just experience the difference. I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm saying I think VR
Definitely be weird.
yeah, it is weird, and I think VR experiences are going to be more and more like a cultural thing where people are like, "Hey, have you just experienced that before?"
Yeah.
Kind of like, "Hey, have you like done drugs?" No, great, good for you. Except this one isn't as bad as drugs.
Try this VR of an acid trip. Enjoy.
I went to a
Digital drunk goggles.
I watched a Foo Fighters performance in VR.
Love the Foo Fighters.
Love Foo Fighters. I was disappointed though because it said a live concert, and then you got in there and you could tell very clearly like this is not a live thing. This is just like a recording they probably did for an album, and I hate it when things are marketed that way. But the technology is there, the potential for it is there. Also, VR Among Us came out.
VR Among Us?
Vermong Us.
VR Among Us?
Vergus Burst. What?
VR manga?
VR manga? We don't need VR manga.
VR Monjas?
That game's fun. And yeah, check it out. That's my video game recommendation, I guess.
Among Us.
Seriously, go play Among Us.
I
Ruin
recommend
some friendships.
Fortnite. Just kidding, I don't. Oh, Gotham Knights.
Gotham
Circle
Knights.
back to that 'cause I almost forgot.
Yes.
Pretty fun game. Pretty repetitive. But the character customization and like leveling up is pretty fun, and the story is really good.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty fun. The villains you fight are pretty fun. Court of Owls, Clayface, Harley Quinn, Man-Bat eventually, Mr. Freeze. The League of Assassins.
The League of Assassins.
League of Shadows.
Oh, League of Shadows. Okay. That makes sense.
Just a series of John Wicks.
You remember that episode where I was like, "Oh man, thank goodness I traded my addiction to video games for my addiction to working out." Blah 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 blah. Literally that
Video games again.
literally that week, I binged so hard on playing games.
Cole started
weeks.
doing heroin.
I was like, you know what, working out just isn't doing it for me. It's time for drugs. I've been donating plasma for so long. Like, what's the difference between just putting
Rather
a
than
different
taking
needle
things
there?
from my body,
Yeah.
I put.
I've been giving and giving and giving, and it's about time that I took some. All right, it's about time.
Also, just for anybody who can't listen to like just sarcasm or the fact that this is a joke, here's a disclaimer: everything we just said is a joke.
Yeah.
Cole is not doing heroin. It is a joke. That is all.
I finally went back to the gym yesterday. It's been like a month. And I was like, wow, I feel like myself again. Oh no, what have I been doing?
How come you took time away from El Gimnasio?
Because I was digging a French drain, or I was digging a trench and then putting a French drain in it in my
You guys are
backyard.
building a moat?
No, and I don't want to go into it because I'm actually still angry about it. But we get water in the basement. I tried to put in a French drain to fix it. It didn't fix it. I'm afraid it actually made it worse, and now I'm just angry as a human being. But while I was doing all the work, I was like, I have to cut something out of the schedule, and it was going to the gym. And nighttime would roll around, and I can't dig in the dark because you can't see anything. So I was like, I'm tired, my body hurts, I'm not going to go work out. Oh, maybe I can like just play some games. I haven't done that in a while. So I was playing League of Legends for a while, getting tilted a lot because I'm not great at it, but I want to be better. But I want to be better at everything in my life.
Getting tilted, defined for you is getting angry.
Yes.
Upset.
Getting tilted. Raging. Being so mad. I was playing with Christian one night. And we were just playing it. We were playing a game. We had done 3 games, and I was so mad because I wanted to play the hero that I normally play, and every time they got banned, and it was making me so angry. So I'm playing a different character with different skills that I don't know how to do well, and I'm already not amazing at the game, so then I was just worse. In every game I'm getting trashed, and I'm just so mad. And I've wasted, an hour and 45 minutes playing this game. And I start just like going. Normally, I'm a self-controlled person. When I'm angry, I can just kind of keep it to myself. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'm so sick. Why am I even doing this? This is a total waste of my time. Like, I am playing a game that's just making me angry, and I can't even play the character that I want to play. Like, an hour and 45 minutes. Like, I could be exercising. I could be reading. I could be doing literally anything else. I don't think I'm ever going to play any of these games with you guys ever again. I love you guys. I'm so sorry, but I can't handle it. This is so dumb. Yeah, and I didn't think I was raging too hard, but I don't ever really like go off. And Christian the next day was like, hey man, are you okay? You were like really angry last night. I was like, yeah, do you want to play League of Legends?
Also, Christian, my ask for you can put it at the end, you can put it in the middle, you can put it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Give us your recommendations this week.
Yes, please do. I edited the last episode, but I think I'm going to have Christian edit this one.
Yeah, give us
your
food,
recs.
movie, or TV show or YouTube thing.
Yep.
And or video game and music.
Yep.
And why is it Skillet? Just kidding.
Why is it Skillet, really? I do have some things I want to ask you about, Noah, before
Lay it on me.
Get into recommendations, which we don't have to right away. We're at 40 minutes, I guess.
Yes, I think
Almost
Lee
40
Harvey
minutes.
Oswald killed JFK.
I'll cross that one off the list.
Yeah, take that one off the top of the list. 'Twas a joke. I have no opinions on the JFK assassination. No opinions. Also a joke. Action. No.
How do you feel about 9/11 conspiracies?
Just a huge censor. No, they must have said he who shan't be named's name a lot.
Okay, speaking of conspiracies, Cammy made us these
awesome
yes, she
flyers.
did.
We're going to post those on IG eventually.
Yeah.
One of them, admittedly, looks like a poster for Brokeback Mountain.
It
2,
does.
featuring Cole and Noah.
Yep.
Again, we are not. Nothing.
Nope.
Hey,
Nope.
you know what? We will not judge anyone.
I mean, I might judge people a little bit, but
Mainly for your movie choices.
that's it.
Yeah.
I could care. Listen. Just kidding. Don't listen. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'll
we
judge you
could
for your
just
movie
get some hot
choices.
Yeah, I'll judge you for your favorite Batman. And if you debate with me on it, just know you will not change my mind on anything Batman related. You won't change my mind.
You're not gonna.
You won't. Just like you probably won't change Cole's mind on Interstellar or certain things like
Nope.
that. You won't. You just won't. But she made 3 posters. She made one Interstellar themed, one
Yep.
Western themed, and then one comic book themed.
And these were for our presidential campaign. This
Yes.
was directly in reference to Cole and Noah for presidents.
Yeah, Cammy for co-presidents.
Yes. Two
For
presidents.
potential equality.
That's my favorite. That one is my.
And we're not talking about equality. It's equality in reference to like Batman and
kind
Spider-Man.
of maybe I don't know.
Well.
We'll post them. That one has my favorite wording. That one
Yes.
is hilarious.
Yeah, we'll let you guys pick your favorite, and maybe we'll change the Instagram photo to that.
Yeah, the Cole and Noah ascending is my favorite just visually. It's my lock screen now. It's so beautiful, and
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, the
So,
Western one is easily my favorite.
That's our first. Like, we have actual fan art.
Yeah,
I feel, and I know you do too. I feel weird using the word fan.
Yeah.
because it's friends. We have friend art.
we have friend art. Cammy has been a supporter since day one.
and she's been on the podcast.
She has,
Yep.
and so is Che.
Yeah.
What a
so is
gift.
Che. Technically, so has
Yeah,
once. So has
There's
Trevor.
another one.
There's another one. So who else has been on?
yeah. Trevor has been on. Holy
Yep,
crap!
he came on once.
I don't know. We need to get my dad on here.
Technically, Christian has been on.
He has.
With
We need to get
Christian's
my
Corner.
dad on. That'd be. You could just ask him questions about me, or we could just ask him questions about
Oh,
superheroes.
that'd be great. We should play the shoe game that newlyweds play, just with you and your dad.
Oh, what was your?
Who said I love you first?
Yeah. Easily me.
100% I did.
Who could walk first?
I love you, Dad. We'll see.
Debatable.
You gotta say
Cole,
I
what
love
were
you
your,
back.
what were your questions that you wanted
Oh
to
yeah,
ask
my
me?
questions. None of those were my questions, by the way.
Yeah, the JFK assassination one was really Cole's question. He actually had to cross that one off.
Oh yeah, Cole and Noah for presidents. We got these awesome flyers. Noah, would you ever run for
No.
president?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Would you ever, if you ever had the opportunity, would you do anything ever in politics?
No.
No.
I would rather be dead. I'd rather be 6 feet under. No. I don't know enough about politics. 2, why would anyone want me to be in that position? 3, I don't know. I've never really seen a whole lot of good come from politics. Now that's painting with a broad brush, right?
Sure.
Now, obviously good has come from politics.
Sure.
I do believe that. But it's just gotten so murky, the waters of that, and I don't know. It's not something we should really talk about on this podcast. It's because
Sure.
it sway people the wrong way.
Sure.
I don't know enough about politics, either side, right or left. And I like to keep it that way.
Do you
because
ever, like, when people are ranting about political stuff, do you ever fantasize being in a position of power and doing things in that position of power that you think would be like, here's a good answer, and I bet I could do that?
I mean, not with really hot button issues, because a lot of times
Yeah.
I think because I try to rely on my empathy a lot, I try to see every side, and so I never really have a clear-cut answer. As I like,
Sure.
people on the right are probably going to say I should. People on the left are probably going to say I should. But I operate so far in the middle because I want to know the intricacies of their story, like that person's story. But I know there are certain issues where I need to have a stand, and that is a struggle I deal with constantly internally. Is like, where should I stand on this? How should I relate to somebody in this spot? And I truthfully, I don't know. I don't know the answer, and I don't know who you should vote for. I like staying as far in the middle as I possibly can. Now there are certain things, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. Anyways,
Sure.
I try to stay in the middle as much as possible because I believe it's not something. It is no good is ever going to come from debating someone on Facebook. No good is ever going to come from if you and I disagree on something, us arguing face to face. Now we can have if we can have a civil discourse, 1,000,000%. But I don't believe anything good is going to come from just sitting there arguing about it. Like, I don't know.
I heard the best debate I've ever heard in my entire life. It wasn't about politics, and it was because of the way these two guys respected each other and interacted with each other. And I was like, this is a lost art. It was two guys debating on what Scripture says about hell. And their whole thing was, one of them was like, I think Scripture says hell is a place of like eternal conscious torment and suffering. And the other guy was saying, I think hell is a place where people go to eventually be completely destroyed, basically an annihilationist view, if you've ever heard of annihilationism. He said it differently. He said conditional living or conditional life, and his argument basically being like, eternal life is not in everyone. It is a gift that you get from Jesus. Therefore, if you don't have it, you'll be destroyed, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, it was from the Exiles in Babylon Conference 2022 by Preston Sprinkle and his crew, and I listened to it, and these guys were so like cordial towards each other and able to be like, hey, like, this guy's my brother, and not literally, but like in faith stuff. Like, we believe in the same God, and we completely disagree on this issue, and he says that, and I'm going to tell you why that's wrong, and yada, yada, yada. But like, they were able to debate. They were able to like poke fun at each other in a conflicty kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, one of the guys was like, you know, if you say this or whatever, like, that is borderline heresy. And the other guy's like, that's not borderline heresy. He's like, yes, it is. And that means you're borderline a heretic. But I love you. You know?
Yeah.
It was so cool. So I don't know if they've released, if you're interested in that, you might be able to find the footage
something
from it
online.
But I was just going, man, if we could find a way to debate with like the respect, that would be so cool. Yeah. I'm not the one who's going to figure that out though. So
nope. It's something I try to stay away from. And I probably should do myself a service of being more informed, but I see how it is consumed like every part of society right now, and I don't like it, because I truthfully, I can talk with people on both sides of the political whatever, and I believe that I can find common ground with them, and I can love them. And I just haven't seen a whole lot of that over the past 10 years, even like just in the political divide. And so I should get more in tune with it, but I hate what it does to people. Yeah.
And I think too, the stuff we do see is so made to be irritating,
sensationalized, and it's so fringe, and it's the minority on both sides. Yeah. But that's the loudest part. Yeah. The vocal minority is always the one that is going to be the loudest. Yeah. So
I ask because I occasionally find myself in these little mental fantasies of like, if I were in office over this thing, like, what would I do?
I just think if I were Batman. Never if
That's
I were
the answer.
The president.
Noah for Batman. Oh my gosh. Cole for president and Noah for Batman. Yeah. But only if I like have a Batman hotline. Yeah. And like we have a Batman
bat signal on top of the White House. You can see in space.
Yes. Speaking of space,
where I am,
that's my next question.
Have I watched Interstellar yet?
No. Would you ever? That was me answering you on two levels.
Yes.
But would you ever go to space if you had the opportunity? Because, by the way, there's opportunities for normal people to go to space now.
I don't know. Somebody recently just asked me this. This is not a joke. Somebody just asked this. I think it was at my life group. I don't know. I did say a pretty crazy statement. I said I'd rather go on a space cruise than a cruise in the ocean, though.
100%.
Which is wild, though.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if they could give me a 98% guarantee that I would come back, then
I think it's pretty high.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, I think I would, just for some curiosity.
Okay, I'm going to read some numbers to you.
But I'm also such a homebody. I don't know, man. The thought of being gone in space. I don't know. A lot of it ties back to if I was single and had no kids, it'd probably be like a definite yes. But the fact that I have a family, like...
That's how America started.
Yeah.
Bunch of single dudes with no kids who were like, I'll just leave my whole life in country and sail across the sea.
I'm going to go over to that blob over there. I don't know what it is. Let's see what's there.
They say there's a new world over there. Yeah.
Let's get on a boat and sail for 30 years.
Adventure is out there. So, estimations, I found this online. With Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic?
Yes.
So wild.
For $250,000.
Oh, I got that.
You can take a ride to the edge of... It's an edge of space flight. So you could go up to basically the edge of space.
Okay. And then you jump out like the Red Bull guy.
Yeah, totally. Go into free fall death spin. If you wanted something a little bit more exciting, you could pay $28 million to fly into space. But here's the exciting part. You get to sit next to Jeff Bezos.
Oh, wow. What a gift.
Jeffrey Bezos. Can you imagine
Jeffrey
being like, oh, man, what would really be
You
service
did it.
for our customers? I know. I should join them on a space flight.
I know it would be a great
can do
service for
that.
them. They could sit next to a literal Lex Luthor.
An actual.
Hey, let's invite my lizard friend Mark as well.
Okay, and then for $55 million, you can fly to the International Space Station with SpaceX, and they provide a free sleeping bag and hygiene products.
Ooh, what a treat!
Do it for the SpaceX branded hygiene products.
I mean, I'll take it.
So
Yeah, I think I would. Who was it? Taryn or somebody recently asked me, like, would you ever go on a cruise? Honestly, no. The thought of being on a boat in the middle of the ocean,
Really?
absolutely not. That stresses me out, dude.
Yeah. I can understand.
That's
that.
also my anxiety, so
Sure.
I probably need to get over
But
that.
I get it. We were in Branson one year, and Lake, whatever the name of that big lake, Table Rock, I think, Table Rock Lake, something. I don't know. There's a big lake there, and it's super crazy deep, and the water is super clear, but it doesn't look super clear. It looks really green. But it's because it is so deep. And there was this little platform out in the water that we would basically go like play on every day. And then one day I was like, I want to see how deep I can go. And so I threw on a pair of goggles and went down in the water, looked down with the goggles, and immediate anxiety because I could see, like, my body knew everything that was true, and my brain was catching up, finding the words for it. But you look down with goggles, you're expecting dirty water, and instead you see your whole body perfectly. It is crystal clear down there, but you can't see anything beyond you but green, which means it is an abyss.
Yep.
It is hundreds of feet deep, and you're like... So I
No.
panicked. I came up to the surface. I ripped off the goggles, and everyone was like, "You didn't even go that deep, you weenie." And I was like, "Guys, put this on and fear death."
No.
It was amazing
Dude, the
and
thought of,
terrifying.
Like, it always fascinates me. I love looking at, like, videos of people who go down super deep with, like, technology to where they can see super deep in the ocean. But I am fearful of what's there.
No thanks.
Because we don't know.
It's true.
Like, I know, like, all the fish we find every year that are like, we haven't seen this species of fish in millions of years.
Ever.
Like, the thought of, like, them still being able to be alive there.
Yeah,
What else is there?
it's wild.
Or, like, thinking of, like, what's living on the Titanic right now. Like, what fish are just living there. Because that's still there.
Noah's number one anxiety: fish.
I don't
Cuttlefish.
I'm not a huge those things are gross.
They are.
I'm just not a fan of I don't really like the water.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't really like it. I don't like the unknown of the water. Like,
Yeah.
I like pools.
Yeah.
Because I know what's there.
It's known
I don't
water.
I don't like the unknown, dude.
Known water versus unknown water.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Of
It's
the
reasonable.
unknown.
I get it. I understand it. I think that would be a similar anxiety if you went into space, because it's
That's even more
well,
vast.
like they said in Interstellar, which you would have known if you saw it. It's just a thin wall of metal between us and just an endless vacuum of space out there. It's getting to me, man. Like, That would be a thing.
Were those your only questions, or do you have one more? I don't know if you have more or not.
Those were the questions I had
Those
written
really
down
made
on
me
my
think,
list.
though.
Good, yeah. These are the things that came to
Would
mind.
you, on the opposite side of the spectrum with
Yes.
space, if you had a chance
Yes.
and you had a 98% of survival to
Yes.
go with like James Cameron to explore the bottom of the Marianas Trench, would you do it?
Oh.
Like, would you, if you could go to the deepest part of the water on a thing that guaranteed would make it up and down totally safe, but you will inevitably see what's down there?
As long as someone is with me that I can like verbally process my anxiety. As long as I can have someone there that I can be like, this is tripping me out, dude.
And that's not even the
This
bottom
is
of like
hard.
the lake you're describing. That's the deepest part of the earth.
Yes.
Marianas
Yeah,
Trench.
yeah, yeah. If the
Also a great band.
Yeah. I think so. As long as it wasn't like, hey, we've never tried this before. Hope it works.
Like
you
we've
know?
gonna down,
Yeah, yeah. If the odds were
but we're
in
going
my
to
favor.
a new spot that we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, I'd do that. I think that'd be. I just need some help.
I don't know if I could.
I'd need some help emotionally.
Same with like skydiving. I don't know if I could ever do it.
Oh, I would totally go skydiving.
Absolutely not.
Listen, all skydiving in my mind. I've never gone skydiving, so allow me to tell you what it is. All skydiving is getting ready, getting up in the plane, and then having enough courage to jump. The rest, gravity takes care of the rest.
I don't like that though.
Just have the courage to jump out of the plane, and then
This is the
You're
one
doing
topic that Taylor Foster could actually contribute to
Yes!
on our podcast because he's
Ah.
been. One of my recommendations this week: don't have anxiety. It ruins a lot.
don't have anxiety.
Just kidding. I know that's not real.
Just
that was
stop
a joke.
it.
My
Just
recommendations
turn it
for
off.
this week: obviously, movie. Watch the Batman. Obviously, come on.
Duh.
I think I recommended Home Alone last week. I can't remember though, because we
You
started
did.
watching that with the kids.
Home Alone 2. You did.
Yeah. So I'm not going to recommend those, even though, I mean, 'tis the season.
Yep.
What have I watched recently? I feel like I just watched something that was like really, really good, but I can't remember. Actually, no. You know what? I'll legitimately just recommend the Batman for real this week because I went back to it. I have not watched it since March in full, right? And I thought for sure by now I'm like, part of me is afraid to watch it because I think the rose-colored glasses will have become untinted, and I'll see clearly that
you'll
I
see
don't
what it-
like something about it.
Yep.
I watched those scenes with Kian again. No, the rose-colored glasses are still
They're
on. I
still
still love that freaking movie, and now I want to watch it even more. So legitimately, go watch the Batman if you haven't seen it because nothing has changed for me. It's still so freaking good. Like,
That's
I love
awesome.
it so much, and I haven't even watched the whole movie. Let's see, and then food. Go to a chicken place. There's Dirty Birds here in Omaha. Now there's a Church's Chicken. Yeah, try one of those. Try something different other than like Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A, but like Church's is a similar vibe.
Yep.
And then Dirty Birds is like more upscale, kind of pricey, but pretty good. And then I have a fashion recommendation. Buy a band t-shirt. I've been real heavy into band t-shirts. I'm
really?
gonna wear it tomorrow. My favorite band t-shirt
Yeah.
right now, currently,
Yeah.
is I got a 1975 shirt, and it's a metal font shirt, so it looks like people are gonna be like, "Oh, what metal band is that?" And
Right.
it's the 1975.
Right.
But I'm gonna wear it tomorrow, and it is sick. I love it.
That's awesome.
So buy a band t-shirt, and then I already said food, music,
I wore your band T-shirt for Sunday recently. I was like, I like the shirt.
EYC baby.
I did.
Shout out Nate Baker, Eleni Baker, Andrew Randolph, and Shane Peterson, and also Jamie Hendrickson. He was in it for a little bit with us. All of them minus Shane are at Revival Church, and Shane is at Stonebridge.
Yep.
So shout out those places. Music. I'm trying to think of music.
Music.
Oh, Laney just released a live album from their show at the Forum last year.
Oh.
Very good. I
You
love
pointed
Laney,
behind you
and
when you
then-
said the forum like it's in
it's,
town.
It's here. It's here. Just go to the Forum. That's in L.A. There's a teleportation device. You can go there. But the Forum last year, and they released 2 singles from it earlier this year, and they released the full album last Friday.
Mhm.
And so that is very good, top to bottom. They play current songs, classics. You get some little things from Paul Klein that you can tell he was a worship leader before he started Laney. It's just a fun album to listen to.
Yeah.
It's fun. So yeah, Laney live at the Forum.
Awesome. That's super cool.
Cole, what is your movie recommendation or YouTube short
Sure.
or YouTube TV
Or
or
anything.
YouTube Red? Do you remember that?
Barely. Yeah. Deep in the back of my mind. YouTube Red exists, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Was it its subscription?
Yeah, that's where they did the subscription. Like Logan Paul got a series, PewDiePie got a series, a bunch of people got a series.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember. Okay. My recommendation, here's what I realized this week was, because our recommendations sometimes are off category.
Yes.
I'm making recommendations for your eyes and for your ears and for your mouth.
Ooh.
All right?
We're covering some
My
senses,
recommendation
baby.
for your mouth. Sorry.
I hate it.
I
hate it. I liked it when you said it the other way.
The other
Don't
way.
like
yeah,
that one.
my bad. I actually tried your recommendation of bacon with brown sugar and cayenne pepper. Okay. And I didn't bother to look up just how much of each of those I should put in there.
Me neither.
So I will say the spicy bacon, that was good.
Yep.
The spiciness, loved it.
We're a fan of the sweet.
It wasn't even the sweet. It was when you cook brown sugar, it caramelizes.
Yeah.
And it was really it was sticky bacon. It was
Yeah.
sticky hot
but
bacon.
I love it so much.
Ooh, I can't.
Oh,
The sticky part, nope.
I was
couldn't
such
do
a
it.
fan.
I was eating it and I was like, ooh, I was so excited to share it with Kylie because Kylie
Yeah.
actually knows how to make stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I don't. Like in the kitchen, I'll make things, but it
Mhm.
is hers is superior in every way.
Yep.
So I I put it on our plates. I took a bite and then I looked at her and I was like, oh no, she gonna be disappointed. But it was yummy. The sweet was good. It was
Too much.
caramely.
Yeah.
So maybe if I did a little bit less,
Yep.
but still, it was yummy. I second.
You just tied into my music recommendation because there's a line in a Laney song where it's like, every day I learn to care a little bit less, care a little bit less. So when you said a little bit less.
A little bit less. Yeah. So food, my food recommendation, I second last week's recommendation. Try some spicy bacon, at least. If you want to
It's
sprinkle
good.
some brown sugar on there, go for it.
But
be careful.
key is sprinkle.
Sprinkle. Key is
Otherwise,
sprinkle.
you're going to get some sticky bacon.
I put a lot in there.
Which, honestly, I'm a huge fan. So, honestly, can't have enough.
Candied bacon.
I used to put that. Sorry, we're
Go.
going so long. This is what happens.
This is a long
I
one.
used to put, when I would grill chicken, I would put brown sugar and some other seasonings on chicken breast.
Yep.
And then grill it. Dude, I'm
It's
telling you,
good.
it keeps there's no stickiness.
Yep.
And it keeps the chicken, even if you grill it way too long, it
Yeah.
keeps the chicken very juicy.
Yep.
It's unreal. So I recommend that. Obviously, you can't do much grilling right now if you're in the Midwest, but
No.
Cole, anyways.
I mean,
that's
if
your
you were a
food.
madman, you could,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
whatever.
Wait, so did you give a food recommendation? Or you
No,
just
I'm
doubling
still
down?
thinking. I'm
Get the KFC double down. The chicken with more chicken.
I recommend. What do I recommend? I don't even know. Nothing is standing out for food this week.
Mm-hmm.
Or drink. Maybe is there a drink? Did I
Ooh.
really recommend
A rainbow.
What? Rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Yep.
Skittles. I recommend
Ooh,
Skittles.
Skittles are great.
Actually, yeah, I recommend having some Skittles. I had some
They're
this week.
so
They're good.
No, sorry, to tie this back. I love the energy drink Rain, and I get them a lot. But the flavor I like,
REIGN,
Yeah,
Rain?
yes, Rainbow Sherbet, REIGN Bow Sherbet, Sherbet, whatever. They don't carry at Target. They'll carry it at Walmart's, gas stations, everywhere.
But not at Target.
gets white gummy bear, second best flavor of Rain. Yesterday, I went to Target because I needed to get Terrence some NyQuil. Just walked down the energy drink aisle just cause, whatever. And I look, and they have Rainbow Sherbet Rain at Target. Two of my favorite things are in the same place, so I bought every single can they had, which was only 5 cans, but
Sure.
still, I saw it and I sent
all of
I
these.
sent an Instagram thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
that was
3.
3.
Use them up.
I was like, dude, they have it, and he went, that's nuts. And so that's how excited he and I
That's
get about
bonkers.
stupid things like that. Like I
That's
saw that, and I was like, I gotta send this to he who shan't be named. I gotta send it to
I
him.
gotta send it. Yep.
So anyway, sorry. So Skittles.
Skittles. I recommend Skittles for your food recommendation
so
this week.
good.
They're delicious.
Skittles are
Get
so
some
good.
Skittles.
Don't get the gummy Skittles. Those are trash.
Why would you buy? No, Skittles.
They're gross.
Actual Skittles. Psh.
Skittles.
Music recommendation. I already recommended the Planets. Dang, man. What am I listening to right now?
Or
Honestly,
if not music, you could do a podcast too.
I
if you
could do-
more or less listen to a podcast.
If you want something that's funny and you like even slightly enjoy a little bit of writing,
Cole and Noah are friends.
Cole and Noah are friends. Yeah, no. Go listen to Bird by Bird. It's actually a really good bird.
Ooh.
If you're like, hey, I want to write stuff, like at all, maybe creatively or not.
Just for fun.
Yeah, I'm listening to it because I'm curious, but I also like maybe want to write things one day. I don't know. And it's funny. It's a good book. So I do
Sweet.
recommend that. If you want a good podcast, like a Bible podcast, listen to Bema, B-E-M-A. That one's amazing.
That still counts for your ears.
Boom. For your ears. You got it. And then for your eyes, what to watch. I'm gonna steal this from Bluey because they did this on Bluey. It's winter. You can't find a leaf. Oof. Just kidding. Never mind. For your eyes. Oh, wait, I got to go back to music. Go listen to Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits. Do that. Okay, for your eyes.
My personal favorite is probably The Pretender.
The Pretender's amazing. And Everlong is so good. And it's so good. Go listen to it. Greatest Hits. For your eyes. Look in the mirror.
Wow.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, I hate myself, Cole. Why did you make me do that?
I hate
I got it. For your eyes, rather than the Batman, although you should go watch that, go to Target, go to the toy aisle, find your favorite toy, and message us on Instagram your favorite one that you saw. It doesn't even have to be something you like, just something that you saw that you're like, this is really cool. They didn't have this when I was younger. Or if you're like, I don't know, that's just an idea.
It is.
And I will do the same. You already know that.
Thank you for listening. This is easily our longest episode ever.
Yep.
This is what happens when we have a little more free space and some better microphones.
Yeah. We were almost done, but then Cole brought up those space and water questions.
I did. I should have saved it for next time.
Presidential questions. I mean, those were good.
Oh, well. I'll just have to have more questions for next time.
So.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We still don't like you, Greg Marcus.
Yeah. Oh, but we are still friends. So. Not me and
Cole
Greg
and I
Marcus.
are still friends. Yeah, no, not Greg Marcus. Unless you offer to come on this podcast and give Cole and I free movie tickets for life. Manipulation. Just kidding. I'm sure you're a sweet guy. I should say this. I don't hate Greg Marcus. I hate his ads before the movies.
Yeah, Greg, we know you're listening. We're sorry a little bit, but mostly not.
Yeah. Stop doing those before the movies, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're great. I'm sure you're a sweet human being. But I hate those. See you later.
Bye.
Guys, I'm being held against my will by Noah Anderson to give you guys my recommendations at the end of this episode. So very quickly, I can say, music-wise, obviously Skillet, if you guys know me. My name's Christian Wismont, of course you would. Go listen to their song Rebirthing. It is amazing. They love Jesus, and it's absolutely rock, face-melting awesomeness. That's right. And then video games, God of War Ragnarok, just came out on PS4 and PS5. If you want to cry and have the best story ever written, besides Star Wars or something like that, I don't know, go play it. I beat it in 3 days. And then also Final Fantasy VII Remake. Also, same thing. You're going to cry. You're going to love it. Movies, go watch the MCU. Specifically pre-Endgame. Anything after Endgame's kind of meh. Noah Anderson, I'm coming for you. Cole Denny, I'm coming for you. But yeah, that's about it.